What's up, guys? It's Sam Talks Games, and today I want to talk about why delaying the Nintendo Switch 2 was the right decision. Now, I dislike the fact that they delayed the console just as much as the next guy. I really want the Switch 2 as soon as possible, and I feel like a delay is really rough, considering we all thought it was going to be this year, most of us at least. There is some people that thought it wouldn't be this year, but most people thought it would be this year, and it doesn't look like it's gonna be coming out this year. So, I want to go back to the 3DS era to talk about this question that must be answered. The 3DS launched in, I believe, February 2011, and it launched with Steel Divers, Pilot Wings, Monkey Ball, Street Fighter. No big Nintendo IP. No Mario, no Zelda, no Fire Emblem, no anything. And the 3DS had a very, very, very rough start. They managed to salvage it, but the price was wrong. No games at launch. No big games at least. And they had to lower the price, offer Game Boy Advance games through the Ambassador program, and literally apologize for the 3DS's launch. Fast forward 4 months later, Ocarina of Time 3D came out in June 2011. Now, imagine if the 3DS would have launched with Ocarina of Time 3D. I think it would have turned out a lot better for the system. And that would mean that bigger games were coming sooner. Instead of coming almost a year after launch, 3D Land would come out like 5 months after launch. It just made more sense. And also, the 3DS coming out early, I believe, is a part of the reason why it was so expensive. They wanted to charge a lot for it because maybe they were spending a lot to make it. And as time goes on, parts get cheaper, chips decrease in price, and the Switch 2, the chip for the Switch 2 has been rumored to have been taped off since late 2022 or early 2023, around that time frame. And it's going to be a custom chip from NVIDIA. So, I believe that it makes sense for the Switch 2 to be delayed for some of these reasons. Because if the Switch 2 was to come out this holiday with no big launch titles and it's $400 like it's rumored, it could have a really rough start. And I don't think Nintendo wants that. I think Nintendo wants to preserve the momentum. But let's talk more about it. Another example is the Wii U. So, the Wii U came out in 2012, November, I believe. And it came out with New Super Mario Bros. U, Nintendo Land, all that stuff. Not the greatest launch title, right? They didn't have a big 3D Mario. They didn't have a big 3D Zelda. They didn't have anything that could push the system at launch. And you could say New Super Mario Bros. U, but I really think New Super Mario Bros. Is something you buy when you already have the system. It doesn't push systems, especially considering that that formula was tired by the time the Wii U came out. So, what happened? The Wii U had a shitty launch, it flopped, and it never recovered throughout the generation. I doubt a launch in 2013 could have changed the fact that the Wii U would not be like super successful, but maybe it could have changed the trajectory a little bit. Maybe it could have done better than the GameCube, you know? So, this is something that's actually really important, and I think Nintendo is also following in the same footsteps that they did with Switch in 2017. So, the Switch was actually internally slated to come out in late 2016, but they pushed it to March 2017 because they wanted to get the software ready. And imagine if they launched Holiday 2016. They would have had Breath of the Wild at launch, because I think that game was ready. But Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a lot of this stuff would come out later. And we wouldn't have had the same level of consistency in the first year of Switch. And who knows where Switch could have ended up. So, it actually doesn't surprise me at all that this is getting delayed. I did expect it this year, because I feel like the delay would have happened from like early this year to later this year. But I feel like they really are trying to get this launch nailed down. They really do want to get this right. And I feel like we got a hell of a release lineup coming up. Switch 2 launch year is going to be insane. We're going to get 3D Mario. We're going to get possibly an Ocarina of Time remake. We might get something from Monolith Soft. We might get a new Fire Emblem game. You know, there's a lot that could come out. Metroid Prime 4. Although I do have my own theory that Metroid Prime 4 is actually still coming out this year. I feel like it could be a shoo-in for holiday, because Nintendo will need something to prop the Switch up this holiday, considering I don't think they have very many games in development for Switch, because I feel like they never planned to delay the launch of Switch 2 until 2025. Therefore, they have no holiday game ready for Switch. But I feel like Prime 4 could be that exception where it could work this holiday. But yeah, I feel like Switch 2 is going to launch, and maybe because it's delayed, it's going to launch at a more affordable price. 400 is honestly like a really good scenario, because with the hardware they're using, custom chip from Nvidia, it could get up to like 450, 500 if they really wanted to, and that would kind of be a problem for the fan base, because Nintendo prides themselves on cheap hardware. So, and they also know the value of their hardware. They will never sell the hardware for a loss. So, yeah, this is all important to keep in mind. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, like the video. Yeah, that's about it. That's it.